if you are a fully booked braider who has created a course and started promoting it because you are honestly burnt out from doing hair all day and you are like, I got bunions, my elbows hurt, my hands hurt, and all of that, but you're having problems getting people to buy your course, this video is for you. See, I recently got a DM from a braider that reads just like this. It says, yes, eventually, but first, I saw your videos about making and selling braid courses. I'm having trouble selling mine. I don't think I'm marketing in a way that creates as much of a demand for it. My angle is pretty much controlling your time and your profit, not just a knotless braiding course, but more so a course to fast track and launch your braid business in 6 weeks or less, as opposed to the 9 years it took me. And shout out to Coned by K for submitting that question. And this video is essentially a response back to her question, but I believe that you can benefit from this video as well. So I'm going to be revealing to you 6 of the biggest mistakes I see that she's making and that most braiders make that keep them from selling more of their courses. Okay, so I want you guys to imagine this, right? Imagine you go out on a date with a dude that you met online and you enjoy yourself at that date, and at the end of the date he asks you this question. He says, will you marry me? What would you say? You would probably say no, but why is that? You barely even know this guy. You don't really know if you like him, and you probably don't even trust him. And the great thing to ask him, or the best question he probably should ask you after that date is, are you open to going on a second date? Or he probably should have asked you, are you open to getting coffee or whatever? And what am I trying to say to you, right? Or maybe even after that, maybe something better would be, will you be my girlfriend? Like, you probably would have been more open to that, right? And I'm saying that to say this, right? You don't need to come out the gate selling something to an audience who barely knows you, right? That's the first biggest mistake. A lot of braiders I see come out the gate trying to sell something to an audience that barely even knows them, okay? If I don't know you, and you come out the gate saying buy something from me immediately, right? That's no different than the guy who proposes on the first date, right? You need to build trust from that audience as fast as possible, because people pay people that they trust, okay? Why is that? Because immersion equals conversion. The more time I spend with you, the more I know, like, and trust you. Okay, so right now I have some people on live. They're spending time with me in the live virtual audience. Okay, you're watching this YouTube video. Okay, you're probably gonna spend about 10, 15, 20 minutes with me, right? You are spending time with me, immersing yourself with me, which is allowing you to know me more. It's allowing you to like me more. And it's allowing you to build trust with me more. So eventually down the line, it's going to be easier for you to say yes to an offer I make you about something that I'm selling. But if I haven't built any trust with that audience first, then they're going to look at my offer, what I'm selling, and be like, who is this guy coming out the gate, you know, trying to sell me something? So what you need to do is you need to build that trust. Okay, that trust can be built off content creation, long form content creation like this YouTube video. You can do short-term mentorships where you mentor a group of braiders for a 5-day period for 1 hour a day for 5 days straight. So with that being said, the principle is this: immersion equals conversion. Okay, the more you immerse yourself in the process with someone, the more they can know, like, and trust you. If you're going that way, you got to go around. Stay can see you. Okay, now let me say this right here. Let's say that and drop some in the chat. Drop an emoji in the chat if you follow me, okay? Drop an emoji in the chat if you follow me, all right? So now let's say that same guy who asked you to marry him didn't ask you that. And you guys actually go on like a second date, okay? You go on a second date, and maybe you go on a third date, and maybe you even go on a fourth one, and you are actually feeling him, but he hasn't asked you to be his girlfriend yet. And he says, you know, on that date, he says, you know what? I want us to be married by next month and have our first baby 9 months later. And you gonna go, whoa, that's a lot too soon. Like, I am feeling you, but I just met you, right? And that's because what he is telling you is going to happen within the time frame that he wants it to happen seems a little unrealistic right now based on where you are at with him. So what I'm saying is this, is that if you have a promise that is unrealistic to the audience that you are serving, they won't sign up. If they feel like this is unrealistic within the time frame that you're promising them, like, they're not going to show up. So what you need to do is you need to determine a realistic promise based on the audience you are attempting to sell to. Okay, let me give you an example. So the braider that I told you this video is for, on her webpage, right? She has launch a braiding business and make $1,500 profit in 6 weeks or less. Now, I believe that that's absolutely too many promises because she's speaking to two different people. Okay, so either she needs to choose a different promise or she needs to extend the duration of when they will be able to achieve that promise by. Because you're basically telling me in 6 weeks, if I've never launched a braid business, I can literally make $1,500 and hit a $1,500 a week in 6 weeks. I'm not saying that that's not possible. I'm not saying that that's not true for her. But based on the audience she's probably targeting, they probably are looking at that like, I've never even launched a braiding business before. I don't even take my braiding business serious. So I can't even fathom making $1,500 in a week. Now, something better, a better route would have just been to target beginners and say to them, launch your braiding business in 6 weeks or less. So she showed them how to set up their booking site. She showed them how to attract clients, how to choose their signature service. She shows them how to launch their braiding business in 6 weeks or less. Or if she wanted to take the money route, she could have focused on maybe intermediate or more advanced braiders and showed them how to master a boho style like she's promoting that will make them $1,500 a week. So now going into that, right? I remember reading the book. That's mistake number 2. Too many promises that feel unrealistic based on the format that she is delivering it in. Okay? Drop something in the chat if you follow me. Let me see if you follow me right now. Hey, drop something in the chat. I want to make sure, give me some thumbs up in the chat. All right. Now, mistake number 3. I remember reading this book by Russell Brunson. It was called .com Secrets. And the book talked about how he wrote about how he had launched a product to an audience. Okay. He launched a product to an audience. He came up with an idea for a product. He put it out there to his audience. And some people signed up. Some people did it. But every single day he would wake up dreading, the business because he would get a lot of headache students that was hard to deal with. And he sat down with one of his mentors, and one of his mentors told him this. He said, you're doing the game wrong. You need to first decide who you want to wake up every single day and serve for the next 10 years, and then create solutions to their problems. See, a lot of braiders, you guys have these ideas for digital products in your brain. Like, oh, I want to create this idea and I want to put it out there into the marketplace. When really you're playing the game wrong, right? You need to first determine who is the dream student. Who is the person I want to wake up every single day and serve, so that you know exactly what type of digital products to create for them that they're going to want, because those digital products are going to solve their problems. Okay. So if you are starting up here and not out there, then you're doing this game wrong. All right. We are entrepreneurs. You are stepping into your mentorship era. So since you are stepping into your mentorship era, you need to think from the outside and use the outside to determine what you're going to muscle up and use your creativity to create in the inside for that audience. All right. So I remember at first I used to just work with all beauty pros. Right. I was working with luxury hair extensions. I was working with makeup artists, Russian manicurists. I was working with all type of people. And then I had kind of realized that, okay, I need to create content and offer specifically for these people, right? I need to create, because I learned that principle of the dream student. So I'm like, okay, I need to create stuff for my dream student, which was beauty pros at the time. Then from there, as I'm going on and on, I had realized that, you know what? I honestly don't like working with makeup artists or nail techs. So I started working with hairstylists. So I started making my content and I started making my offers and my digital products around problems that hairstylists had. And then I started working with, in the hairstylist field, I was working with luxury hair extensionists, ponytail specialists, K-tip specialists. Well, that's luxury hair extensions. But I was working with all those people, braiders, locticians, and I realized like the people who paid me the most money was protective stylists. So I started working with protective stylists. You know, protective stylists are, at the time when I did this, I knew them to be locticians, people who did like twists, braiders, and I later found out that like luxury hair extensions are technically a protective style, but I was only working with like braiders. But then in there, I launched a coaching program, and the first 3 people that signed up were braiders. So I said to myself, I said, you know what? I'm just gonna focus on braiders. That's probably why you are listening to this video. That's why you are watching this IG live. I just started focusing on braiders. And ever since I started focusing on braiders, I started learning you guys' problems. Okay, I started learning what solutions I need to create to solve them. I started learning y'all lingo. I started learning how to communicate, how to braid, that to do a stitch braid is pre-parting and parting, molding, stitching, design / feeding the hair, and doing the finishing touches with the baby hairs. I started obsessing over my audience, and that made it easier to create content and offers that attracted you guys. That made it easier to position myself as someone that you guys wanted to work with. So you need to do the same thing. On your page, I should be able to see that you are specifically for a specific type of audience, period. If I cannot tell what type of audience you are for, and you're going off the, I'm a beauty industry, I help beauty pros scale, stop all that. Who in the beauty industry do you work with? Okay, y'all follow me? Give me some thumbs up if y'all follow me. All right, so mistake number 4. Now, have you ever had like a guy you were talking to who you kind of like found attractive, and he had the potential to kind of be like your boo or your man, and when y'all got on the phone, it was some really good conversation, but he barely texted back, or like he was inconsistent with calling you? Like when y'all got on the phone, it was really, really, really good. When you was able to get in contact with him, it was really, really, really good. But like it was just so inconsistent. And when y'all talked, it was good, but that was rare, which made it really hard for you to truly like him. That's the same thing you're doing right now when it comes to promoting your course. You promote a course online one day out of 2 weeks and complain why people aren't signing up. Of course nobody is signing up. You barely promoted it. If it's been 2 weeks and you only promoted it once, when I say promotion, let me clarify that. A post that is permanent on your page with a call to action to sign up for what you want your students to sign up for. Okay, one post. Okay, so since it's only one post, how do you expect people to sign up? Right? You need to do input output math. How many input do I need to get output? So for example, if you started promoting 2 weeks ago and you got 2 sales, you know, you can look at how many posts you took. Let me draw it on the board for you guys. So let's say this. Let's say over the course of 2 weeks, I made 1 post and got 2 sales. Let me ask you this. Which part can you control and which part can God control? Or he controls all of it, actually. But which part is yours and which part is his? Well, his is sales. Anything outcome related, you can't control. You can only control your inputs. So that means he's leaving me a clue called cause and effect. That if I do X, then Y happens. So if I post it one time and that one time got me 2 sales, well, if I want 10 sales, how many times do I need to post? 5 times. Because every 1 post equals 2 sales. So if I post 5 times, 5 times 2 is going to give me 10 sales. So I can literally just do input output math. How many of my input do I need to do to get the output that I desire? Okay, but we don't. First of all, it's somewhat not your fault because you didn't know that. But second of all, it is your fault because you do know in the back of your mind that you have to promote this thing consistently. So I'm gonna give you a 50-50 split on that. All right. So now, let's say you go out of town. That's mistake number 4. Mistake number 1 was coming out the gate selling something. Mistake number 2 was too many promises that feel unrealistic based on the format. Mistake number 3 was not knowing who you're talking to. Mistake number 4 was not promoting enough. And mistake number 5 is this. So let's say you and your friend out of town, you and your homegirls out of town, and she like, let's go to a new pizza spot while we out of town. So the first thing you do is like, okay, girl, you look it up on Google, pizza spots near me. Two pizza spots come up. The first pizza spot is called Best Pizza in Town. That pizza spot has 1 review. And the only review that it has is one of the cousins who opened it. One of the owner's cousins came and tried it and said, my uncle's spot, my cousin's spot is the best pizza spot in town. Okay. Then you got the second one, which is called Blake's Pizza. And at Blake's Pizza, there are 400 plus 4-star reviews of how good the pizza is and all of that. And you and your homegirl decide to choose Blake's Pizza, even though the first pizza spot said that there were the name in itself said best pizza in town. So why am I telling you that story? Is because the proof that you probably have does not match the promise and does not prove the promise that you have to be true. So, for example, when I go on that braider's page, I don't see any proof that she can help somebody else other than herself get the result that she's promising, right? And we need proof because people do what other people do, okay? We as a society use other people to determine a decision that we're going to make. Why do you think when you go out to eat and you've never been to a place, but somebody else been to that place, you ask them, what should I eat? What do you like here the most? Because you're going to use that piece of data in your mind to determine what you should get to eat. So what am I telling you? Okay. You need to have proof that the promise that you're making people can be done for somebody other than you. So there's 2 types of proof. The first type of proof is you showing the results you have done for yourself. That is one of the greatest type of proof because it shows that you know what you're talking about. But a proof that goes higher than that is others. You showing the results you have gotten for others. This allows people to not only see that you have gotten results for yourself, but that you have gotten results for other people. So when you only make promises, there's this thing that happens in your brain called cognitive dissonance. Okay. And it's like when you only make a promise, people's brain, your students' brains are going to fight. Like they don't fully believe it. That's called cognitive dissonance. It's like, imagine like a scratchy sound in music, like on the record player, scratchy sounds like something is off about this song. But when you show proof, that scratch goes away. Okay. The brain kind of relaxes and now the person trusts you. Like when the proof is stronger than the promise, proof will literally turn your students' doubts into beliefs. Okay. You need to have proof. Now, how do we get proof? This is probably going to be a cuss word for a lot of people. Okay. You need to help somebody get a result for free. Yes. When I first started with braiders, the very first program I created was me working for free to help them get the result that I was promising them. And as I worked with them for free, I learned and I got proof. And I was posting proof. And that proof led other people to come to me who wanted the result. But if you don't have any proof that you can help somebody get the result, then you have no proof to advertise, which makes the promise that you're making out your mouth be less believable. Is this making sense? Drop some in the YouTube comments if this is making sense right now. Okay? Drop some in the IG live comments if this is making sense right now. Okay? We need to get proof. Whatever you are promising somebody, if you're promising somebody that you can help them launch their boho braiding business, go mentor them for 5 days, 1 hour a day, and help them launch their braiding business. If you're promising somebody you can help them master stitch braids, go mentor them for 5 days, for 1 hour a day, and help them master stitch braids. Go get the proof first so that when you go to market, it makes it easier for you to market, number one, and it also makes it easier for people to believe you, or for you, it makes it easier for you to market because you believe in what you're promising other people because you've already helped somebody get that result. But it also makes them believe that you can help somebody other than yourself. Okay? So, mistake number 5, people don't believe you. The last mistake. All right, so think about this. Dating is kind of fun. It's like, at first it's fun. You got the cute dinners, you got the cute text messages, and the cute moments. But when life gets real, when the bills start coming in, when family starts happening, when the hard decisions, you start to notice something. Like, there's honestly no guarantee that this guy is going to be with you after this hard season or during this hard season, because there's no, like, it's like almost like you're wondering, like, is this temporary, or are like we building something real? Like, that uncertainty makes it really hard for you to invest yourself in this relationship. And that's exactly how your students are feeling when you are selling them a self-paced course. It looks good at first and they're gonna buy it, but when they hit a wall, or when they run into a problem, or when things get tough in life and they can't, like, they start doubting themselves and there's no one to help them and there's no accountability, that means there's no security. It feels like dating with no commitment. And what I'm here to tell you is that the format that you are selling, the format that you are delivering your knowledge in matters. Okay? Mentorships, the biggest mistakes, the 6th mistake, which is one of the biggest ones, is delivering your information in your head in the wrong format. What is a format? Community is a format. Course is a format. Mentorship is a format. Those are all formats. Okay? Self-paced course, leaving students on their own without any accountability, support, guidance. Like, there was a study done that most students, I don't know if it was like 20% or less or like whatever, but a lot of students who pay for self-paced courses usually don't finish them. Like, think about how many self-paced courses have you paid for that you haven't finished? Okay? So with that being said, if you really care about your students, then you would give them a format that helps them get the result. Wouldn't you? You would do that, right? Okay? And a mentorship is like a real commitment. It's not like dating. Like, you're not just giving them the information. You're actually helping them get a transformation. You're walking with them until they get the result. And when people feel that level of support, like, they stop hesitating and they say yes to what you have to offer. Okay? Because they feel like they're going to have somebody by their side when things get rough. Okay? I'm pretty sure that you want someone by your side when things get tough. Okay? So, mistake number 1 is coming out the gate trying to sell something. Mistake number 2 is too many promises that feel unrealistic based on the format. Mistake number 3, not knowing who you're talking to. Mistake number 4 is not promoting enough. Mistake number 5, people just don't believe you. Mistake number 6 is that the way you are delivering your knowledge is in the wrong format. And if you're a braider who is thinking like, okay, I need to create a mentorship, but you honestly don't know how to start, I want to create you to our mentorship launch workshop, where in 2 hours, I'm going to walk you through what to name your mentorship, what to teach in it, how to price it, and how long it should be. And that workshop is only $1 to hold your spot. Okay. And $297 only after you get the result. So if you don't get the result that I promise you don't walk away with a plan, you don't pay. Just click the link in the description or comment the word $1 on this IG live and I'll send you the link. But until then, I'll catch you on the next video. Peace. Whew.